I understand the language, and he's saying really nasty stuff about you.
About me?
About you specifically.
Wow.
No, he actually said all of us are pretty cool, but Chris Pratt's a dork.
You really? Muhammad, that was,
That's
I
what he
mean,
said.
okay.
Did I take anything? I accidentally took a pair of socks by accident. I still have them and I still wear them, but they're not really like Nebula. They're like underneath the costume, so that's not interesting at all. Sorry.
I take socks all the time and underwear.
You take underwear?
Yeah, just steal it. Why would I give it back? It's weird to give it back anyway, no?
Yeah, I guess they're not going to use it again, hopefully.
Or maybe they could, but that would be weird too.
Yeah.
Zoe, what did you take?
No, everything is just so top secret that the thought of taking something and being called out by Marvel just was petrifying. But I've kept every sweatshirt that I get, every t-shirt that I get from every department that has been kind enough to extend that gift to me. And my dad and my father-in-law wear all of them all the time because I'm always given they're always like in large or sizes that are not mine, but we've kept just souvenirs like the hats and the posters. Every time we're doing press tours, I've tried to ask to have a poster that's signed by all the cast, so that one day when my kids find me cool again, they can have it and they won't like sell it for charity and like buy themselves a pair of sneakers and stuff. I don't know.
And Vin, how about you? I mean, I know you weren't actually on the set, but do you have anything from?
Well, I'm lucky that, and this goes back to a question you asked earlier about James Gunn. He is so thorough, and everybody talks about it, but he's so thorough that, and over-prepared in a good way, that he comes to our sessions with a script that has the intention of every single I Am Groot. And so, starting 10 years ago, so I've always felt really privileged that I'm the only human on the planet that gets this script. And so I cherish all of them very much.
That's great. Chris, what about you?
Oh, yeah, I always steal a bunch of from set. I got all kinds of stuff.
My wallet.
Yeah, you got your wallet. I got a lot of really great stuff. I took some stuff out of Quill's apartment. I took some stuff from nowhere, some like salt shakers and some stuff that was from the restaurant scene. I took a bunch of that stuff, and I never ask. I just take it. It's great. I have my wardrobe. I take that. Usually, costume departments loses like one or two of their costumes every time. And I got my gloves, and I got my boots, and
Oh my God, you've taken a lot of stuff.
What the hell?
I know, but it should also be pointed out that like Chris stole like the first Star-Lord uniform, but then he was wearing it to hospitals with kids.
one day they're going to be like, "Sir,
Oh, that's why you were doing
it's not
it.
relevant anymore. You're going to have
Print
to leave."
that. Print that. That's important.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard, I mean, in this day and age, like, let's, Chris and I talk all the time. We're like, oh, they're putting this scene online now? Do we really want that? Is that too much? I mean, I guess it gets more people to go to the theater, so it's a balance. But, in some ways, I wish there was nothing ever out about anything. It's just go see this movie and then have everybody totally surprised. So it is difficult finding the balance with the marketing team in terms of how much we give away and how much we don't. And hopefully we've, striked a balance. I also think that people have learned over the years online how to consume promotional material for themselves, and people are different. Some people want to see as much as possible, and so they seek it out and they watch it. And some people don't want to see so much, and they take in less. I know, like, on my social network feeds, I don't post everything. I don't post the scenes because a lot of people don't like to watch the scenes before they see the movie. I post, the trailers, the few things that we have that don't give too much away. So I think that people now can kind of control that media for themselves, which is a good thing.
Wow.
If you don't,
Besides,
it's okay.
je suis Groot.
Yeah.
Non, non, it's
Je suis content.
Je s'appelle Groot, c'est ça? Je s'appelle Groot.
No.
Je s'appelle Groot.
Je s'appelle Groot.
Yeah.
All right, we got friends.
Okay.
That's a good start.
Anyone add, Chris?
Yo sono Groot.
Io sono Groot.
Ich bin Groot.
Ich bin Groot.
Ich bin
Give me some other ones.
Just
Anything
I
you
am
want to add,
That's the
James?
Scottish
I
one.
don't know. Got it.
And
Dude's got it.
Scottish, what is it?
I am Groot.
I am Groot. I like that. I think I got it, right?
I'm Groot. That's going to say, I love you guys.
He just said bad stuff about you.
No.
I understand the language, and he's saying really nasty stuff about you.
About me?
About you specifically.
Wow.
No, he actually said all of us are pretty cool, but Chris Pratt's a dork.
You really? Muhammad, that was.
That's
I
what he
mean.
said.
Okay.
So
I
rude.
agreed with you.
Yeah, he's like, well, gotta say it, man.
This is a nightmare.
I agree with that point. I've never argued against that. I think that there are many superhero movies that are becoming boring, so I would never argue that. What the thing that I take, some offense to is saying that there's, cinema has a tradition of different genres. And, there are amazing Westerns, there are amazing gangster films, and there are amazing films that are based on comic books. And I am not I believe that all of those things can be real and all of those things can be cinema. And saying that one type of film, because of the subject matter or because of the characters, aren't cinema is ludicrous.
I love the fact that the movie gets to come out and that the world is going to be seeing it. And the journey of getting there. On a lot of films, it's not great. On a lot of films, you have assholes you have to deal with, you have a bunch of problems, people are fighting behind the scenes, and you would never know that. It's not the case with this film. The relationships between each of the people has been, to me, the most the most enjoyable aspect of playing this character. The bonds that I have with James Gunn, just doing bits nonstop, constantly making ourselves laugh and being on, even if literally no one else is in the room. Like, it's a nonstop thing. Getting to know each of these people, seeing their children being born, attending their weddings, being a part of their lives in a real way. That's an extraordinary thing that we get to do, and kind of rare, I think, because there's not a lot of jobs that put you into the pressure cooker situation to create strong relationships between people.
I feel like it's the only reason I've been able to participate in this genre of action in films, because of my athletic background. It's just how does that happen? What takes place? A lot of rehearsals, a lot of conversations with James in terms of what he wants your character to do. And you lean in, you work with the stunt department. They usually surround us with amazing trainers, and you have a blast. I have a ton of videos that I can't wait to show with you guys after May 3rd or May 5th, because I finally started to document that process. As I'm getting older, my body definitely aches every time I do my stunts. And this time around, I really wanted to share the process that takes place, because it's fun, it's grueling, it's a lot of work, but the end result is so wonderful.
Yeah, I think it's true. But also, Mantis has been through a lot before meeting the Guardians, and she felt pretty lonely. And the Guardians of the Galaxy are the family that she was craving for. So it's beautiful to see that. And then she found a brother too, which is Peter Quill. And and it was like really, really fun to get to play with more emotions and to get to kick ass as well, and to get to show a side of Mantis that is more fiery and more mad sometimes. And thank you, James.
You're welcome.
I mean, I didn't actually know. I wasn't sure that I was going to become a fully fledged Guardian, actually. Like, James had told me that this character was going to evolve in all these amazing ways, but I didn't realize I was going to be a Guardian. And then we were filming, this movie, and I got to wear the uniform, We did like the obligatory slow motion walking shot to cool music, and I felt cool, and I felt like a Guardian, and I was like, oh my God, I've graduated.
I think it's, it's an interesting thing when you work with people for so many, for so long, in such long shoots, and then you become friends with them outside of that process. You get to know them on a molecular level. So it makes the movies naturally, in some ways, get more interesting because I know that how funny Karen is. And so Nebula all of a sudden has a humorous streak that she didn't have in the first movie. I know that Zoe has this way to be so focused on one thing and just be there. And so it makes, she's, much more of a tougher, crazier, meaner character in this movie because I know what she's able to do and how cool she is, and Pom is absolutely insane. And so I can bring that to the character of Mantis. No, it's like, I knew that from the beginning.
Yeah.
And Vin, he's really good at saying I am Groot. What's great about me?
You were looking reflective.
What's great about me? That's the question.
Gosh.
What do you love most about
Don't
me?
worry, this will be quick. James, gosh, I can compare him to the other directors that I've worked with. I've worked with a lot of great directors, but there's something about James, what sets him apart, his preparation. He's always very prepared. He works tirelessly. He doesn't shut his mind off. For these films in particular, he's a student of the comic book films and the canon of comic books that have existed in Marvel and in DC and outside of that as well. I stayed at his house while I was working on a film recently, and he's got a library of comic books that all of the indexes are well worn. He reads this stuff. He lives and breathes this stuff, so he's the right guy for this. He's been making movies forever. He had a great start making movies for no money, which really you have to learn how to really stretch a dollar. And when you're talking about having 150 or 200 million of those dollars, he can really make them stretch to give you the very best return on the investment. He knows action very well. He knows how to talk to people. He's incredibly articulate. He has a very clear vision and will tell you if something's not working. He knows how to direct various people based on their personalities. What might work for one person won't work well for another. He's got a wealth of experience and knowledge. He's an incredibly empathetic person. He cares deeply about people. He cares a lot about animals, and he's really weird, and so that's helpful because he's a misfit himself. So when he's creating a story about misfits, he knows the heart of a misfit. He wants to tell the story in the heart of a misfit. Him and his brother Sean, he's been torturing his brother Sean on screen since they were kids, and you look at the dedication that Sean has to playing Rocket. This is an incredibly unsung hero of our show. He gets very little credit. His face isn't on the work, his voice isn't in the work, and yet every single day he shows up, he puts real passion in it. When he's crying tears, they're real tears. He's down on his hands and knees playing this character in a way that they would do for free. They happen to do it for a lot of money because they're worth it, but they would literally do it for no money because it's what they've been meant to do.
That's amazing. Thank you. Well said.
Psych! He is a piece of...
Thank you, guys.
so
Thank you
much.
so much. Really, thank you.